Hello, I'm Tim Lapage of Tim's Travel Time. You're watching Park City Television. And today I'm taking you to the heart of Provence, France. The Greeks first inhabited the area in 600 BC, and the Romans followed shortly thereafter and left behind an extraordinary array of antiquities and buildings. It became a papal seat in the 1300s, and in the 1700s the British aristocracy used it as their favorite hangout. Georgia Perrin Ball, once a well-known realtor in Salt Lake City, decided to up sticks and move to Provence, France. She renovated a beautiful French country farmhouse and now has the capacity to take in up to 10 guests at any one time. It is called La Vendin. So Georgia, from a bustling Salt Lake City, here you are in the heart of French countryside. What was it that brought you here in the first place?
Well, Tim, it's a wonderful story and it's very simple. And I came here because I have a daughter, only one daughter and one son. My son stayed in Salt Lake City, unfortunately, but I came here because my daughter married a Frenchman. And now there are two granddaughters. And I decided I couldn't let them grow up without being around them.
That's a perfect reason.
But
in addition to that, you have given so many people from the Utah area already a wonderful glimpse of a new world. You have such creative things happening here. You have writers' workshops and cooking workshops. Tell us something about that.
Well, I have people who have said, Georgia, could we do something at your place and we'll get a group of people to come? And I said, of course. And so the something has been cooking. We have 2 or 3 a year where chefs come in, French chefs come in, and people cook with those French chefs, and then we dine with them at their restaurants. Or people from Salt Lake City or from other places in the country come and teach cooking. We have a painter's workshop, we have a writer's workshop. A year from now, we'll have a music for young composers workshop. We try to just do whatever creates variety.
And how many people can you sleep here?
10.
A maximum of 10.
10 adults plus 2 children, if the children are small.
So that works perfectly for a large family or a group of couples.
Absolutely.
To do such a wonderful creative opportunity. And tell me, what else is there to do?
There's a myriad of things to do here. One can go kayaking, one can go fly fishing, one can visit the wineries that are everywhere. Because I'm so centrally located in the Provence, day trips to visit the aqueduct where one can kayak, visit Roman ruins, visit beautiful gardens, visit castles, you name it, it can be done. And, of course, the food is exquisite. So, visiting a market, going out to a restaurant, dining here on the property with the things you bought at the farmer's market if you wish, or dining elsewhere.
It sounds like the perfect family vacation.
It is.
A number of people from Salt Lake City and Park City have been to visit her in this area, and one of them is Leslie Miller. Leslie, tell me, what was it that got you first interested in the French countryside?
I went to La Vendin with a group of writers from Salt Lake City. There's a professor at the University of Utah who conducted a writing workshop and decided to do it in Provence. And so that's how I ended up there. George's place is an ideal location for any kind of workshop or a private vacation. It's just perfectly suited to intimate little gatherings.
So tell me, when you're there, you obviously get out and about. What sort of things did you discover and enjoy doing?
Well, prior to arrival, a friend and I, who's Parisian, rented a car and we traveled the Petit Luberon district, which is where George's guest house is located. And we went to a number of beautiful little villages in the mountains. A couple that come to mind were Roussillon, which is a small village, and it reminded me a lot of kind of southern Utah in that all of the surrounding geography is red rock. And it's a very historic village, it's very quaint, there are little bakeries and wonderful places to get coffee. And there are many villages like that. So, and all the little roads are just tiny, narrow, almost like little bicycle roads. So you have your little car and you just scoot along through the mountains.
Tell me, one hears quite a bit about some animosity for foreigners in France, especially Americans. Did you find any of that when you were there?
No, not a touch of it. And as I mentioned, I traveled with a friend who is French, and perhaps that had something to do with it. But the people were just absolutely marvelous. They're warm, they're sophisticated, they're civilized, and in the area where George's place is, you know, the rural nature and the agrarian nature of the people, they just want to share their bounty with you, and as an interested American, I think that they were more than eager to chat or to show you their wares or sell you something that they had grown in their own fields.
Well, of course, that leads to the incredible farmers markets, that every evening you could go out to the farmers market and this extravaganza of extraordinary legumes and fruits that was on sale.
People talk about how a vegetable or a fruit tastes when it comes directly from the garden, but I have never had food that tastes so delicious as when I was in Provence. The yogurt tasted heavenly. The olives they melted in your mouth, and just the color of going to a market and having to haggle and deal. And every day we would go every afternoon and we would select things from the little village, and we would come back and we would prepare a feast at George's, and it was just marvelous.
Thank you, Leslie, for joining us and telling us about your experiences in France. Thanks for watching Tim's Travel Time on Park City Television. Join me next week for another extraordinary adventure to another part of the world.